In a legal and personal downfall of historic proportions, Prince Harry's recent defamation lawsuit has left him not only financially crippled, but socially ostracized and personally devastated. This saga, initially intended as a bid to clear his name, has turned into a public spectacle, exposing layers of deception that have shocked the world and reshaped Harry's public identity in an irreversible way. What began as a lawsuit against a prominent British news outlet has spiraled into a story of contradiction, scandal, and ultimately, dismantling of his carefully constructed public persona. Let's take a look at the shocking events that have unraveled Harry's life and reputation. Prince Harry filed the defamation lawsuit with high hopes, confident that he would achieve justice against a publication he claimed was maligning his character. Accusing the news outlet of publishing what he deemed malicious lies about his life, Harry demanded millions in damages, alleging that the articles had gravely harmed his reputation. But as the case progressed, the defense brought forward a bombshell: secret recordings in which Harry could be heard acknowledging the truth of some of the stories he had previously denied. These recordings not only contradicted his sworn statements, but also cast doubt on his credibility, creating a seismic shift in the case's trajectory. When these recordings came to light, the courtroom's atmosphere changed. Harry's initial composure faltered as the defense revealed tapes in which he admitted to facts he had labeled as false in his defamation claims. The tapes were irrefutable, depicting Harry in a compromising position that made his accusations appear to be a calculated attempt to sway public perception rather than a genuine plea for justice. In these recordings, Harry could be heard describing events in private conversations that aligned precisely with the published articles. The judge, faced with irrefutable proof that contradicted Harry's sworn testimony, wasted no time in rendering a harsh verdict. Declaring that Harry had lied under oath, the judge dismissed the case and levied a $10 million fine against him for misleading the court. This ruling not only left Harry financially devastated, but marked him publicly as dishonest, a label that resonated deeply with the British public. The British media swiftly responded to the scandal, with newspapers running relentless headlines labeling Harry as the liar prince. The narrative of the once-beloved prince transformed almost overnight, with poll after poll indicating a sharp decline in his popularity. Once a symbol of modernity and resilience in the royal family, Harry now found himself vilified, a fallen figure shunned by many in his home country. Public opinion turned fiercely against him, with many viewing the lawsuit as a brazen attempt to manipulate public perception for personal gain. As details of his deception spread, British tabloids and mainstream outlets alike seized the opportunity to dissect every aspect of Harry's character and motives. The backlash was swift, brutal, and far-reaching, as citizens and former admirers expressed disappointment and even outrage over his actions. The strain of the scandal proved insurmountable for Harry's marriage to Meghan Markle. The trial and its fallout intensified pre-existing tensions between the couple, tensions that had been bubbling beneath the surface ever since they stepped back from their royal duties. The scandal ultimately led Meghan to file for divorce, citing irreconcilable differences as the primary cause. Reports indicate that the turmoil stemming from Harry's legal missteps created an emotional and financial burden that neither could bear, particularly with public opinion shifting so sharply against them. Meghan, who had been closely linked to Harry's public persona, found herself grappling with the fallout, leading to an inevitable end to their high-profile union. As a further blow, the royal family took the drastic step of stripping Harry of his remaining royal titles and privileges. The Queen herself intervened, declaring that Harry's actions had tarnished the image of the monarchy, forcing her to revoke his royal titles, personal security, and any remaining privileges associated with his former role as a working royal. In an unprecedented move, Harry was effectively severed from the monarchy, symbolically and practically left to fend for himself in a foreign country without the protective shield that his status once afforded him. This decision by the Queen underscored the depth of disapproval within the family and illustrated the seriousness with which the monarchy viewed his actions. Following the court case, additional leaked recordings emerged, each one further unraveling Harry's public image. These tapes revealed private conversations in which he criticized his former royal duties, made disparaging remarks about certain family members, and expressed disdain for the responsibilities that once defined him. The media seized upon these recordings, interpreting them as evidence of Harry's true feelings toward his heritage and obligations. Public opinion soured even further as these revelations painted Harry as a figure who, despite all the privileges he had enjoyed, appeared to harbor resentment and entitlement. The narrative shifted from viewing Harry as a sympathetic royal figure to seeing him as a man who could not appreciate the significance of his unique position. As Harry grappled with the aftermath of these revelations, his new life in the United States offered little refuge. Despite his efforts to rebuild his image away from the royal family, the scandals that had marred his life in the United Kingdom continued to follow him across the Atlantic. The estrangement between him and his family deepened, as reports indicated that even close family members had ceased communication with him. Harry's relationship with the monarchy had been complicated before, but the events of this lawsuit severed whatever remaining ties he had with his relatives, leaving him largely isolated. This story serves as a sobering reminder of how privilege and power can be squandered through reckless actions and dishonesty. What Harry had hoped would be a triumphant vindication has instead become a cautionary tale about the perils of deception and the steep consequences of a broken trust. His defamation lawsuit, intended to silence critics, has instead amplified every misstep, laying bare the vulnerabilities and failures of a prince who once seemed untouchable. The ramifications of this trial will likely continue to reverberate for years. Harry's fall from grace offers a stark reflection on the fragile nature of fame and respect, showing that, regardless of one's background, trust and integrity are foundational.